let's just double check that it's running and I'll get into it. Okay, cool. So, welcome everybody. I hope you're having a good day. So, right before we get into the build, I have a question for you guys. So, for all of these streams, would you guys like to see like a review video for them? Like, it would be short, less than 10 minutes for sure, and it would just go over what I did behind the scenes before I started filming, and also what I did during the stream. So, and it would be its own separate video, and you guys could watch that to catch up in case you don't want to watch the entire stream. Leave a comment if you're interested in that, because I can totally do that. I just want to see if people would be interested in that. But so right now, what I really did in between is so I did a bunch of bracing. So I basically made the floors and a lot of the decks, the floors and the ceilings. So I just threw those in, and then I put in this generator doesn't like it'll work, but I just put it in there as kind of a placeholder, as well as these couple of thrusters here. So that's just to balance out the weight. But yeah, so far it looks pretty good, and we still got a couple of bits that are disconnected everywhere. Um, as you can tell, these things are the reason they're red is because they're disconnected. So that's no big issue. And let's see. So also, so our build budget, we're actually doing pretty solid right now. So we're definitely going to go over bolts, I think, at least. Not sure about attachment plates, but so something I kind of wanted to do today is to see if I could get this to fly. So putting in some plating here just so I can put seats on it, and then putting in the flight computer and all that, um, then wiring up the ship just to see if it'll fly. And I kind of want to do that, so I guess we'll just see where we go with that. Hold on, I just gotta not be rickrolled real quick. Okay, so I guess so today we'll be doing more focusing on systems because I am actually pretty happy with the shape of this. There'll be a couple more things. I'm gonna do most of the structural work off camera, like putting in beams along the sides of here. But I think what we can do today is we'll just do some of the structures. So I'll get this generator working first, and then we'll just wire everything up and we'll see how that shakes out. So all of these sections, I guess, that's as good a descriptor as any, are 192 centimeters high, which is exactly perfect for what we need. So I'm just gonna scoot this out, and then what we'll do is I'll just put a plate down here. So we'll go with a bigger plate. I don't know. Is this too big? That's way too big. We'll go with the 192s, and we'll just put like 2 of these in. Actually, we probably want 4 because that way that gives us enough of a base to put the generator on. And then we'll just line that up in the middle, right there. Then we'll scoot it forward. Yeah, that's about right. And then, so what we'll do is we'll just select this generator, and sorry about that. But so then we'll just stick this right in here. Is it? Why won't it snap? I don't know why it's not snapping anymore. That's actually kind of annoying. But yeah, I may have just gotten rickrolled, so you gotta watch out. I'm gonna scoot this forward though. Want to get that about there. That looks right. It's mostly on the middle. Yeah, that looks dead on. So then we'll just bolt that on. And so that with the 192s, that just means we can have a plate on the bottom and a plate on the top, and this generator will fit perfectly, and those will fit perfectly. So that's really handy. We'll just copy and paste this above. I think it's not snapping because of some alignment issues, because this wasn't snapping down here. So that if it doesn't work properly, I'll just fix it behind the scenes. That shouldn't be much of an issue. But I don't think, yeah, okay, that didn't connect at all. So that's kind of horrendous. We're just gonna pop in here with some bolts, and then we'll start bolting this down as well, because, you know, we need to have it bolted down. So we'll just do it like that. Let's see. Can we just do something like this? I want to make sure that everything has at least the chance to be bolted onto something strong. And then one more bolt over here should do it, I think. Yep, okay. And no warnings, so that's good. So that's all hooked up. I'm gonna actually put a little bit more. I'm not quite used to the new, so they reorganized everything in the asset browser, so that confuses me a little bit. So I'm still getting used to that, but it's not too bad. So we got the socket board, and then we'll get the pipe socket board as well, because I want this to be running solely on radiators. So in the future, that'll be what we do. Though for this test, I'm just gonna stick a couple of coolant cells in here, because I don't really want to have to deal with setting up a radiator system. I just want to see if it will actually function for now, and then we'll get onto the radiator system probably later in this, because I do want to get everything running, but also I want to see if it's just possible first. And then we'll put some fuel rods in. I don't know why, but fuel rods are very laggy. They're like cargo crates. Cargo crates are insanely laggy. But so there's our generator. And then I think what we want to do. So I think what we can do is we'll run power and propellant up like the back of this. I don't know quite what to call it. The structural core. We'll run it up the back of that. And then we can put it through here. I'm kind of apprehensive about putting out here, but yeah, the beams are a bit intense. There's, yeah. And then there's like these, which aren't exactly not allowed, aligned properly, because the horror. But so I think what we're going to do is we're going to run propellant up there, and then I don't want to run it on the outside. Actually, what I could do is I could run it along like just the floor in here for now, because we're going to be putting plating on the inside here. Once we get the plating in, then I can run, I guess, prettier lines. But for now, we'll just get it working. So kind of want to run it like this. So we'll take, like, we'll have 2 runs. So one will be the power and one will be the propellant, and we'll do it something like this, so that they're right next to each other, but so if something happens, I'm able to repair them, like, because the idea is all of these can be accessed internally. So then we'll just do the same thing down here. We'll do cables first, and we'll do it from the outside to the outside. And bop. And another bop. And then we'll just do the same thing with the pipes that we did up there. So boom and boom. I don't know why I pick pop and boom, but it's a thing. Alright. And then what we'll do So actually we can run it up like the sides here. I think that, at least for the moment, so like doing this. So, nope, not deleting. I dislike that the pan buttons are the same as delete, which just a minor annoyance. But we'll run that there. So that'll hook them up. And then we'll just put pipe on the other side. I'm going to make this more redundant later, but for now, this is what we'll need to test it. And we'll go up here. Alright, oh, jeez. It strikes again. Okay, so there we go. And then what we'll do is we'll bring the cable up to here. And we'll bring it in. And we'll put it at, say, this junction. And then we'll run it up there. And then we'll swap over, and then we'll take the pipe, and then we'll run it up the other junction. So, like, right to the right. Yeah, right to the right. And this will be temporary, but most likely, as long as it works for now, that's all we really need. Because granted, this thing may never actually fly in Starbase, at least until there are some updates to how many parts you can have on the ship. So we're just gonna send this all the way back, actually. Is it this? Yeah, it's this beam. I think that would, like, our cabling is going way up now, so that's a tad concerning, but it's okay. So there we go. Alright, and then what we'll do is this even bolted in? Yeah, that's bolted in. We'll just hook up like one of these for now. And we'll just, I think we'll do like pipes on one side, cables on the other. That seems to me like it would be a solid way of doing things. That way it's very separated, so if you need to do any in-flight repairs, you've got a nice little area right here that you can put it in, if I can actually pan. So what we'll do is, I kind of like having like a solid like design scheme, so we could do something like that. So the inside is where all of the connections happen. That'll just make it easier. So we'll just do that real quick. And then we'll do that for the other side, and then we'll do it for all of these. Not too bad. But it just takes a bit. That's the only thing. I mean, see, granted, doing this, it gives you a really nice inside look at what it actually takes to build a ship of this size. Because building a ship of this size is truly, how do I put this? Horrific. Yeah, I think horrific is the word. Because, yeah, there's just so much to consider and so much to do. So I have tested some of these thrusters before just to see if they would actually fire if I plugged them in, and they did. So we'll go from there. So I'm gonna put the wires right here. So, and I'll run it down through like that, and then we'll do the same on this side as well, and then we'll do the same kind of design with the pipes. Kind of worked out really nice for that, actually. Alrighty, and then so we're gonna need to access these. Now that is gonna be interesting. So what I think I want to do first is I just want to get all the systems working. Yeah, like all of them hooked up. That'll be our first step. Then once we get them hooked up, then we can start interlinking. Yeah. So there's a lot to get this ship flying. And as I said, propellant. So propellant's going to be towards the interior of the ship. So we'll do this right here, and then it'll be shorter right above us. Or will it? No, it'll be actually longer right here. And yes, there's a little gap there. I'm really sad we don't have 12 centimeter connections, because 12 centimeter connections for our beams would be really handy and would eliminate a lot of those gaps, but this is fine for now. Plus, it's just a part of how awkward building is, because this, I guess the aft section is just really, really wonky with all these 30-degree angles and everything. So, no biggie. So I'm just gonna finish up here. And I think we'll connect them down on the inside as well, just for now at least. But yeah, this is one of my favorite parts of shipbuilding. Like, it's long, it's boring, but it's so much fun because you actually, no other game gets to do this, and I get to wire up my own ship how I like it, even though it's probably really not the recommended way. So then we'll just switch over. So we'll start doing the wiring now, and I'll pay a little bit more attention to the wiring because I realized that I was overshooting a lot with the piping. So I'll fix that like this. That's completely unnecessary. I'll fix that after the stream. But the inside, that actually does need to be longer so that way we can connect it easy. Alright, there we go. And same thing over here. You see, I made it a little bit too long there, so I'll just fix that later. It won't be a big issue to fix either, so. Oh, wait, one more. Yeah. This is going to be an interesting engine configuration. I have a feeling that we're going to be spending a lot of time using maneuver thrusters and other well-placed thrusters to make sure that this doesn't fly really wonky, because something's telling me that this is going to be a very difficult one to actually fly, just because of a Nebulon B is fictional, and its engine design is less than optimal, I'd say. So now those are hooked up, so we'll just do these bottom four right across here, and this will be a little bit wonkier, so we'll just do something like this. And then bring it in. And then we'll do the same thing. And then we'll take the pipe on the bottom until it gets over here, where I'm just gonna put it right next to the wires. And down here, since I don't have the other beam on the other side, what I'll do is I'll just do it like that, and that'll be nice and handy. So right here, then right there. And so that's all those hooked up. So what I want to do is I want to find kind of a central beam. So we've brought it to the inside here. What we can do is we can kind of just bring it along the insides here. So these wires, I'll move them to up to here. And I'll kind of bring it down like that. And I'll do the same with the piping over here. And let's see, what do we want to do from here? So what we can do is we can do the piping. I'm going to do the wiring first because wires are thinner. So I'll just take this down here, across, up, like that. And I actually think I'm going to place this here, then we'll go in the middle. So separating them by having some in the middle, some on this, like, I like wires on the sides, pipes in the middle, but as you can see, this is really rough. I'm not even gonna lie. That's extremely painful. So I'm just gonna, where do you end up? So you're right here. What I'll do is I'll have the pipes on this side, and then I'll bring the wires up, but I'll have it on the opposite side of this beam, so along here. So I'll just route it like this. And that's another thing to keep in mind when you're building a ship. Make sure that your pipes and wires are visible in the editor. That way, if something goes wrong and you need to delete a bunch, that way you don't get screwed over because you can't actually see your pipes or wires and then delete them. So we're just gonna pop in here like that. See, that glitches through, so it's more difficult to delete those. So doing something like this is better. Alrighty, and then we'll just bring that right there. Right in there. Okay, that's connected. Alright. Okay, so I think that means all of the layers. Oh, not the top layer. Yeah, we still gotta get the top layer. So we'll bring pipes up. Because it actually works well that pipes are right there, because that's where I put them above. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I wish that the pan button was not right click, and I don't really want to swap it, because that's another annoying thing. But, so we'll just do this down here, right to there, and we'll bring it all the way down, right there. And then same thing over here, yeah. So we'll bring it there, and then down, and right into that corner. So that should be everything. Theoretically, everything should be connected up. So now we'll just put in one of these propellant tanks. Let's see, what's the best one to grab? I could just jerry-rig like a small propellant tank for this, but I may just want to use one of these. Actually, yeah, I think for now, jerry-rigging one of those small propellant tanks would be useful, or medium, because this is going to be a bit. So let's make sure that that's bolted in correctly, and then we can hook it up. And then this will connect all of it. Alright, and it's connected perfectly. Alright, so then we'll put in a cable and a pipe on each side, just to hook it up. Alright, bop and bop. And then just connecting it on one side would do for this, because the propellant, it all goes back into one tube later on, but we'll just do one for each side. And this is what I mean. You want to have them visible so that if you make an accident like that, you can fix it easily. So there we go. And then this will be the final bit. Okay. So now just to test that, what we'll do is we'll click on one of these engines, and nope, we do not want that equal sign, but we'll just do that. And it does not work, and that is because the generator is not hooked up. So we'll do that real quick. Socket board's here. I'll just run this along here, and then we'll get everything sorted out. And this emphasis on should, but it should give enough power for everything. I realize now that this is a super inefficient route to actually be wiring everything down, but you live and you learn. I don't know why it's creating so many like errors, but now I think it should work. Alright, so we'll just pick a thruster. Same thruster, I guess. Okay, yeah, that's much better. And we're gonna turn off our mag boots, which is just, you know, Control G. And okay. So it works, and did it run out of propellant is the question. I'm not actually sure if that would have used that much propellant. No. Let me guess. Oh, I think I know what happened. Are those? Nope, those are bolted in. Here, what we'll do is we'll go down here and we'll use one of these. And we'll just do that. Okay, did it run out of power or something? Or... because it's still connected to the network. If I set this to... okay, so it's just working in bursts. I love the amount of things that are shedding off because they're just not properly connected. I should probably fix those before I make this fly, because right now the warp class is like 0.32 or something. But so basically what's happening there is just all of those red parts that aren't sufficiently connected and this that's not connected at all will just fall off. They don't pose really a big issue, but that would be something to clean up. So now what I want to kind of do is I'll just get like a platform in the bridge for me to put a seat in MFC FCU on, and we'll just get that working. So the bridge, why will this not snap? There we go. So the bridge in a Nebulon B is not actually in this like bulbous bow kind of thing. It's right below it in one of the larger segments, but still, you know, further down. It's actually kind of near the top, so I put it there, and that's kind of how we'll just run our bridge. So let's see. I don't know if they moved cargo. I think it could be in controls. I don't know where they... okay, yeah, it is. I don't know where they moved a lot of the things because of that massive reorganization, but this won't be a big issue. And then we'll just put the control table in. I did not mean to do that, but actually the auto bolt is not too bad at this moment. So we'll just let it take its course, and then this will be connected. So. And so when this is done, I think I'm actually going to have like a captain's chair and then a helmsman's chair. Just, you know, for kicks. It's a bigger ship. It would have bigger responsibilities, bigger people on it. So having those separate stations would actually be kind of cool. But so now what we want to do is we're going to take this wire, this cable, going to move it around here. Oh, come on. Okay, how do I want to do this? I'll just move it in this really awkward manner. It's not too bad, but it's also like, why? And then so you'll see like that magenta color there, so that just means, you know, it's not able to connect. So there, that pilot seat's hooked up. Now we're definitely going to go with a premium FCU, because there's going to be a lot of controls on this. So premium, and then there's the MFC. And then we'll just wire them up like that, and right there, and there. and we'll bolt those in. And then I'm only going to have one lever on there for now. It's just going to be the forward lever. So hopefully these engines down here will be able to balance out with those ones up there. So we'll just set that one lever up real quick. So that's just going to be ye old normal lever. Is that the right orientation? Yeah. So, and then that's just going to be FCU forward. Alrighty. So FCU forward, and that's all set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. And okay, so this is where comes a bigger issue. So how do I want to organize the thruster power levels? So I think what I'm going to do, because this will have a lot more thrusters on it, I'll have it in like sections. So this will be a section, this will be a section, this will be a section, just because there's not much room down here. So that'll be thruster power level 1. Then we'll make the middle one 2. And so I'm doubling up here because, well, conservation of these, I don't know, these numbers, I don't know. But so I'm doing that right there. And this way, so if it's off balance a little bit down here, it'll be easier to correct because there's only, notice I'm doing air quotes right now. There's only one thruster pack down here. But so what we'll do up here is there are multiple thruster packs. So we'll just say this should all be the same number, this should all be the same number, and then these ones will actually be different because they're slightly different from each other. So this will be thruster power level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we'll just do those real quick. And I'm going to copy and paste this just so I don't have to keep putting in the 04, just for that ease of copy pasta. There we go, and last one for that. So that's number 4 all done, and then we'll switch over to 5. So, and we'll copy paste again because that's, it's honestly just easier. So there's another 5. And I've never actually tried all of this, like labeling a bunch of thrusters the same thing. So this is an experiment. We're going to see if this actually will work. I have my doubts, but we'll see. So that's all 5. Then this will be 6. And then 7 below. Just because they're differential. I'm thinking that if they were in the same spot, like if I had them renamed the same thing, since they're not in the same spot, that would create some issues. So I'm just not going to do that. And 7. Alright. And then this will be 8 and 9 right here. And we'll see how many maneuver thrusters we'll need on this to counteract the forces. I'm thinking we won't need that many, hopefully. But if eventually we need that much power, what we could do is we could just do triangle thrusters. And we could use the triangle thrusters to act as maneuvering thrusters, which I think it may actually be overkill for this ship, just because it's got, it's very long, very tall, so we've already got a lot of leverage. So I'm going to make sure that these are bolted in. And then we should be ready to go. Let's just try this. Okay. This was faster than I thought. Oh yeah, this is much faster than what I was thinking. So I hear that weird, like, chopping. I'm not sure what that is. Like, I can tell they're turning on and off. I have no clue what that's about. Um, actually, could be. Are these consuming all the power that... Let's see. Okay, I'm not actually sure. I think what I may do is I may put in batteries to fix that, because it seems like it's a power issue. But, oh, hey, Crusader. So, basically what I just did is I made this fly, and it works. Um, I am honestly surprised that it's flying this fast, uh, but that's also really awesome. And we're not actually going to use these levers. We're going to switch over to the where are they? Centering levers, because that way we can do the actual ship controls with that. You know, what I could just bolt up everything and then buy the ship and then assemble the rest in the universe. So I it while the works with air quotes is not wrong, I I have no defense. Alright, so we want pitch, yaw, and roll. We're not actually going to get roll out of this, so we'll just do pitch and yaw. Um, this is rotational pitch and rotational yaw. So rotational pitch, and we'll do FCU rotational roll. I meant to say yaw, but I was thinking roll. And then there was one more thing I wanted to do, and that was add in a battery. So we're going to do that real quick. I have no clue where batteries are now. I think... Okay. Yeah, they changed everything around, so I have no clue where anything is anymore. Oh man, I feel like I'm getting older by saying that, but as long as that's bolted in, I really should have just bolted this in manually. I think that would go better. So we'll see. Okay, yaw works. Did we lose thrusters or something? No, we didn't lose. I don't think they increased the restrictions. I hope they do soon, because that would let this fly in the universe. But already, this is actually fairly speedy, so this is nice. I can't actually hear what is going on. So is... Ah. Okay, so this works as well. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't read anything that said they, in like the patch notes and stuff, that they have increased the restrictions. I hope they do soon though. But for a stripped down ship that is this big, this works really well. And I don't know why it just stopped there. And I don't know why the audio is gone, like from the engines. I think that's just a bug. But so this is a fun thing. When we're in flight and all that, I'll just turn the thrusters on real quick just to demonstrate. But also this is going to be really pretty once it's actually built, and we have the observation version. I'm just going to keep this moving. So what we'll do is we'll go up here, and so what I like about this and what I like about a big ship is, so say something goes wrong, say something falls off back here, you can just like prone and you can walk back here and fix it yourself. now. I have all of my weapons from the combat, but none of my tools. But you can go back here and fix it all. Easy peasy. So that's really handy. It also really looks pretty. So I think I'm going to put in some triangle thrusters as well, just to increase speed. We'll see how that shakes out, because I think this is actually doing pretty, pretty good as it is. But then again, we don't have the massive amounts of plates on it yet. So this is... I don't think it's going to be able to fly for a while once we're done with it, but for now, that's actually pretty nice. I'm kind of proud of that. Alright, so what do we want to do next? Let's see. So basic systems are working. What I think I could do next is I can kind of just work on the different sections, and I think I may also just wire up the rest of the propellants back here. And yes, I just tried it. It can fly, and I'm not gonna lie, when I put this up, I was surprised how fast it was. This is faster than like one of my mining ships, but so that is pretty spicy. Yeah, it definitely won't be this fast. And yeah, some of the beams are gone, so like the things here, those have fallen off because they only have one connection. Uh, this part is just not finished. So like, you see how it's kind of like right here? I want to do that up there and along here, but I'm not doing that until I have an idea of what I want my hangar to be. Because once I get my hangar kind of situated, then I'll know how far out I want those to protrude. And yeah, it definitely won't be this fast when it's plated, but we can add in more thrusters. So, but you can kind of see what I was thinking here. So I'll kind of have it slope back with this bit here, and then I have a Vasama. Where is it? If it'll select it. What is happening? Oh no, this is not good. So I have a Vasama back there, and like if we turn it sideways, if we turn it sideways, like it fits perfectly in here. Like we could probably maybe fit 2 in here. So like it's really nice. And the torpedo tubes, so I'm gonna save the space for them like right down here. So I'll have this sloping up like this, and then we might at least have space for 3 torpedo tubes down here, like right below the engine bay. I was thinking we could move like the engines up a level, so like the generators up into here, and then be able to put a ton more weapons down here. But also, I'd like to have this level for, you know, another purpose, maybe an extra storeroom or another place for crew. So like maybe a passenger cabin or navigation. Like my original idea is this area would be for navigation. So we'll have a bunch of consoles and stuff and YOLOL chips in here, like kind of the main computer, so that people can figure out, you know, where we are, where we're going, all that stuff from right there. And it won't be on the bridge cluttering everything up. So that's kind of my idea for now, but we'll see where that takes because there's a lot to go. Oh yeah, that's true. So what I was thinking is, so I have a smaller engine down here, and then what I do is I have the main engine like back here. I could put in like right here. I could probably fit in a large or a different generator back here, and then have 2 and kind of be able to toggle between them. And then another suggestion that I had earlier was this area right here. So it's like the perfect height for an endo. Like just, it's really nice. So this could be right here. This could be a little ramp and you could get out here. Like this whole area would just flip up and it'd be like a door that opens up, kind of like a hangar or something. And then this area would be covered, so I think I could maybe put a generator in there. I don't know if it's the right size, but we'll just copy a piece and find out. Okay, so we could fit like a mini generator right there if we needed. So ideas for a generator, we could put one there. We'll have that one there. May make it smaller though, as you say, and then have another generator back in here. But my worry about having like the generator back here is if you hit it, then all the propellant goes up, or well, we're gonna have most of the propellant back here, not all of it, but it would all go up in flames all at the same time and we'd lose everything. So I'm a little bit apprehensive to having a generator back there, but I agree we should have a couple. So let's see. What we could do now is we could start adding in, just working on up here. So like adding in these vertical supports. So up here has been a really wacky lattice. So, it's going to be something that I'm going to fix, but I think we could do that now as well. And yeah, the propellant, like, it's going to be vulnerable. I've actually been thinking of moving it back, but oh man. See, I don't really want to, I don't know what I truly want to do with this propellant, because I can move it back, but I still need to have a lot of propellant up here, and I'm gonna have to probably add in a different support beam in here, because it's gonna be in a wonky spot. I'm probably gonna have to add in another support beam if I do move it back. But what I do like of this is that we have this open area right here, so that you can just come in here and then you could theoretically access everything you need to up in here and out over here. Um, yeah, it's a wacky decision. I'm not sure what I want to do. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing 2 layers. So back here, so if you look at like a picture of the Nebulon B, this area is really built up. So that's what I think I'm going to rely on, because like it's got a lot of texture, kind of like mini skyscrapers coming out of this part. So I think that's what I may have in this area, and that would protect against most shots. Uh, Now, granted, if it's focused, we're screwed, but stray shots would be fine. So let's see. Is this? Yeah, so that's what I suspected. This generator isn't completely on the ground. So what we're going to do is not that, but this. And I'm going to select the right tool. And I'm just going to remove all this wiring. Yeah, as long as the enemy doesn't know what's inside. Granted, I am streaming all of this, probably, so if the enemy just watches my videos, it's kind of game over, but still. So, oh, why is it not? Okay. Yeah, we just won't speak of it. If it isn't said, it won't happen. So this, oh, it does fit. Now, it does snap. I was gonna say question of the day, will it snap? So right there, and then is it lined up? It is not lined up. It is lined up now. So then we'll see if Auto Bolt does us proud. I don't think it will do us proud, but I hope it does us proud. Please Auto Bolt do me proud. Actually connect everything. Oh, come on. Hello? Oh no, this isn't good. Oh no. Can I? Oh, there we go. Okay, it did us something, you know? uh, oh lordy. let's not connect you to there. Does that fixes all of your problems? Okay. How about you? We'll just a foolproof method. Couple more bolts. Come on, be happy. You know you like the bolts. Oh boy. So now why are you not being happy with this number of bolts? You're connected to everything else. Let's try in here. Okay, that works. Yeah, this is very jank. And I'm gonna add another bolt in here. So half of me wants to say for this project that as long as it has a warp class over 1 later on, we'll call it even. But also, I think having as high of warp class as possible will be really helpful for this ship, considering just its sheer size. And so, let's see. What I think I may do is I just may put in the structural supports in between sections, so that way we might be able to start like, I don't want to say start building like the different parts of the ship, but just get a feel for them. And the lagginess, which I don't know why it's happening whenever I copy paste, but it is horrendous. And has anyone built this big? I'm not actually sure. I know Mr. Fonts from 930 Incorporated was building something big. Um, oh, had it in game. That is a no. Nobody has. What? It just selected everything. Okay. Nobody has really had something this big in game, I don't believe. I'm pretty sure something of this size is like unheard of. Because, you know, already this ship is, what? It's already 10 million. Well, granted, okay, so I have like that ship back there and the Vasama, but so hovering around 10 million. Yeah, you know, I do want to be the first to have a ship this big. So soon we are going to be going on a lot of mining trips just to make sure that we get something this big. Because I know it's always fun to show off your ships, but to show off something this big, that's a bit next level. Yeah, I could have a mining stream. See, I so I don't really know how people feel about mining streams in Starbase though. So like for me, I like granted I would be doing it with other people, so it's a little bit more active, but also we're just kind of chilling. It's more of a Q&A session in my eyes, but so what do you feel about that? Like having a mining stream? Like because I don't know, it feels like a mixed bag to me. But then again, I've never really asked, so I don't know what everyone else thinks. Also, so another thing some of you will see is I have these connections right here, and I'm not connecting them right now. So what those eventually are going to be, I'm probably going to turn those into corners. So basically saw off this bit right here. And so on the Nebulon B, there are like separate pods basically, and I kind of want to create that effect here, or I'll see if I can create that effect. I might just find out if I can use some like different colored plates and stuff to make that work, but all right. Yeah, I can totally do that. And we can see the yeah, the Bastet in action because we've taken it out once, and that went pretty well actually. Um, So even if you get like minor ores, the Bastet will bring in, what was it? Bring in a good chunk of money, at least a couple million per run. Now, granted, when we fly together, that means that uh, we'll have to split that up, but we can totally do a mining stream. That would be, yeah. So right now, what I'm really just doing is so when I put in this elevator shaft off camera, I opened it up and I made it so you can walk out, and I also created like this part here. So I forgot to make another section up here where I could put a beam in, so I'm just fixing that up right now. And I may want to do a bit of interior plating today, so like just so you can kind of walk around on the decks, because that would be a nice thing to have, just so you know you don't fall through everything. Why did I pick up the socket tool? And honestly, okay, socket tool is one of my least favorite tools. I have used it once and vowed never to use it again. So, fun fact of the day. And yeah, I think I'm gonna, so on Autobolt, I think I'm gonna have to start using select a section and then Autobolt that, just because of how laggy it's getting, because it's looking over the entire ship to see what's up. Yeah, so the socket tool, so basically what it does is you have the socket. So normally what it'd be is like you have so like pretend this is the exterior plate of your ship. So you want to get power to the other side, and you don't want to just glitch it through the plating here. So you use the socket tool and you click that, and it'll create a hole through it, and it'll have a wire go out the other side. Now, I don't like it because it is really like frisky. Like it sometimes it works, it sometimes doesn't, and getting rid of it is horrendous. Like you almost have to tear your ship apart to get rid of what happens with a socket tool. So I don't really like it because of that reason. So that's just my personal preference. But so what I think I'm going to do back here is I'm going to start making these connections along here. Uh, I think a lot of this will just be plating that I'll be connecting it with, because connecting all this up with the structural beams will be a little bit more difficult. Nope, I grabbed an engine in there. But if need be, we can just stretch a lot of these structural beams at weird angles to be able to support all those plates. But plates can support plates, so it shouldn't be a big issue. But I'm just going to do this so they don't fall off. And speaking of falling off, that reminds me I'm going to have to rename one of those levers on the command console just to make sure that it actually works. So this is supposed to be rotational yaw, not rotation yaw. So there we go. And these should all be green now. Okay, yeah, so that fixes a lot. Now this part here, so I bolted this off camera. I had to move it, and so a lot of the bolts came undone. I'm not going to do that because that's really annoying. It requires a lot of very careful attachment plating. So, but that, and aside from this, which is that lined up? Okay, we can just do this quick. That might be 48 centimeters. I think this is 48 centimeters. So we'll just put something in real quick. I know I'd forget about it later, so I figure it's best to do it now. Yeah, that fits great. That's what I keep doing. I keep accidentally hitting Control A. That is what's happening. I kept wondering why it kept selecting everything, and then I was like, oh. So what has happened here? So that lined up perfectly, but this did not. That's a 96, this is a 96. What the heck is going on here? So that's a 96. What? So these are both 96 centimeter beams and 96 centimeter corners, but they line up. Oh, that's because they're slightly further out. Okay, I see what the issue is. We'll just select these, and then we'll hit Shift C, which disables snapping, and we'll just move it into place real quick. So just like that, and we'll do the same thing down here. Now, I don't know why that little gap is there, but that won't pose an issue at all. So we'll just do that. And then, so I'm just going to have apply to selection enabled. And that way it will work much faster. There we go. And are you all good now? Okay, cool. And I'm going to save because I haven't saved in a while. And if I were to lose all of this, that would be very painful. Yeah, for real. Alright. So just for kicks, I'm going to take this out for a flight again because honestly, I don't understand how it's like this fast. And something happened. You know, I'm betting you. Yeah, something fell off. Something big, and I'm not sure it's those. Unless it is those. And what happened is it like destroyed a single piece of wire or something. Let's just try this again real quick. We'll just shake everything off real quick. You know, that should be fine. And it stops moving. Okay, I don't know why this... Ah, yes, that's why it stops moving. I was like, oh, I encountered this earlier and I don't remember what I did to fix it. This is what I did to fix it. I actually plugged stuff in. There we go. Okay. Alright, I'll see you, Hydro. That's good choices. Good, very good choices. But yeah, once we get maneuvering thrusters on here, this is pretty speedy. Oh, 9? Wow. Weak. But but anyway, yeah, so it flies. It's a drastic change of pace. But so alright.
Did no one read the email?
Oh, thank you for the follow. So let's see, what do I want to do from here? So it flies. I have worked on the different sections. So what I think I'm gonna do is I will just kind of start in here. So I think what I'll do is I'll start plating in here, like just make it so that there's a floor and clean stuff up. So like this, like we want to make it flat. So what we'll do is we'll take this out and we'll just use a T-junction because we don't want them sticking out in between the levels. That'll be fixed by plates. So we'll just do that real quick. So we'll take, I believe this is the T-junction. Yeah, this is the T-junction. I can't speak English anymore. Okay, that's fun. But we'll just put this right here. There we go. And then we'll do that for like all of these. So we'll pull that out, pull that out, pull that out, and copy and paste. And we'll just maneuver it in using these because placing it in manually is annoying. And then what we'll do, we'll take all of these And then we'll copy and paste, and then we'll rotate them, and it'll make everything very easy. And then after that, so you'll notice that the sides are open here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and fix that, because so the issue with this is they're misaligned as well. So I've had to move around a lot of stuff just to make it work. Like this grid work down here, it's not really grid, it's terrifying to be frank, but I've had to move it around a lot and move the sides around to get everything to fit properly. So now these are off of alignment. So what I think I'll do to fix this, what you can do is you can take like these up here, and so these 30-degree angles are all right. They don't need to move because they're connected directly onto the intersections. So what I can do is I can take these beams out, and what I can do is I can fit it perfectly with this, so I can have an intersection. I'll just show you. That'll work. So I'll have these as the sides, and I don't know. We'll just put a 96 in there. We'll see if that works. Okay, so it will. Alright, so then what we'll do is we'll take this out, and then, so we'll put in I think a T-junction will be fine for here, so we'll take a T-junction, and we'll slap it on there. And then, so what we'll do is we'll just size up these parts, and everything will be happy, and then we'll do that to all the different areas. Okay, so that works perfectly. So a 48 and a 96, there's no weird increments. So we'll just do the same thing along the sides, and that will fix a lot of our issues. So we'll just do that real quick. And then, as always, remember to drag out your beams instead of just deleting them, because that way it'll take the attachment plates with it and it won't leave them there awkwardly, because if you just delete it, it leaves weird things like that. So drag and then delete. And then what we'll do is we'll just copy and paste this. And if I built this ship correctly, which I hope I did, I feel like it violates a lot of things, but if I built most of it right, this will work as a copy paste. Yep. And then we'll auto bolt it real quick. We'll see if it all works. And if it doesn't, then we'll go to the other side, do the same thing, and then come back and make it work, because procrastination rules. All right. Okay. So it works perfectly fine. So now what we'll do is we will take all of the beams that we modified out. So those 4, move and then delete. And then we will copy and paste all of this. And so since it's the same on the other side, this will work fine, assuming it is the same on the other side and I didn't do something stupid. All right, perfect. So then we'll auto bolt that, and then we'll save real quick, because I have not saved enough during this session, and if I were to lose anything, I would be very sad, because this is a big build. But I gotta be honest, I'm kind of surprised this is crashing much less than the Bastet build, because that build crashed like every 5 minutes, and I don't think I've had a soft crash in this once. So that's really handy. And okay, so one thing I'm concerned about, so we have this right here. So these, I call them the ribs. Those are fine. They don't line up exactly, but we'll cover it with plating and it'll still be the same on the outside. But so this one, this is a little wonky. I'm not quite sure what to do about this. So what I think I could do is I could just have them like this, and when I put on the plating, have a like kind of like a work around it, create some texture. But I also have a feeling it'll look kind of weird. But considering these aren't like primary supports for anything, I suppose it's fine for us to leave them for now, and then once we get to the plating, if it turns out that they're kind of weird, not in the right spot or something, then we can totally change that and it'll be perfectly fine. So I think that's something that we can accomplish once we get to the plating section. But so, let's see, what's another thing I need to do? Delete this and that, and a couple more things. Cleaning up my workspace a bit. So I need to connect this to here. So what I'll do is I'll just take a 192. 192 should suffice. Yeah, so as I expected, this dips a little bit, but what we can do is we can just have like, I kind of want to call it a tooth. So like when you have a ship that has like, kind of like fangs like down, like we could have like little mini fangs right here, kind of. I don't know what I'm saying, but like a little pop out right here that might enhance the texture. So we'll just do it from this section right there. And where is it? So we'll take the mother of all attachment plates, the big boy, and we'll see this should work. So then Shift C, disable snapping. Yeah, that'll work. So you just kind of snap and bop bop. And it doesn't work because that was not bolted properly. So I think that's actually going to be, yeah. So the auto bolt is going to put something right here, I think. Either that or it's going to put a corner intersection right there. So, oh, or it does both. And then fixes it. And then so we'll just take this attachment plate, we'll flip it around, we'll re-enable snapping just so it aligns well with this beam right here. So that's how I kind of do it. So I enable snapping so it's on the right plane, and then I move it out like that. So it's still in perfect alignment with that beam, but it's in the spot that I want it. So that's all good. And then with these, I think I could just use a regular corner. So this is going to be a bit more ghetto. Yeah, by a bit I mean a lot, so brace yourselves. Something like that. Will it actually... Okay, I think this will work. Lo and behold, it does. I don't know why it's giving off a yellow. I thought yellow was just for over bolts or something, but I don't know what's up with that, but that'll be all right. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Hopefully it's, well, actually I was gonna say hopefully it'll be a little bit closer, but I know since I essentially like mirrored them, it's not gonna be any closer. So we'll bring that in there, take it over a bit, drop it down, right there, and boom, boom. Okay, so that's connected. And we'll do the same thing up here, but this will be a little bit better. I'm gonna enable snapping for this one. Actually, that's actually not a bad spot. I was thinking I'd put it up here, but I think this will work just as fine. Will it bolt? No, it won't. So I think I'll actually put it up on top. We are going to fix it real quick and then I'll put it back up top. Except if it doesn't, because jankiness ensues. Alright. Then we'll just bolt like that. Okay, it does bolt like that, so that's perfect. Alright. Then we'll flip it around, do the same thing, and I think I accidentally hit Shift C instead of Control C. I did indeed, so we'll just flip this around now. Boom. Shuffle it along. right there. Bop, bop. Gonna move that down a bit. Just because I know if there's glass, so there might be glass going right here just so you can have a nice viewing bubble, and I think, yeah, having it further back is better. Alright, so that part's fixed up. This is annoying me again, and it's because of these connections here. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's annoying, but I guess it'll just be one of those things that you eternally have to fix. Okay, so let's put in another generator. So we have that generator there. Let's put in like a generator right back here. Ooh, we have to make it accessible. That is something interesting. What we can do. Okay, so this is going to be a bold take on a generator. So we'll have the fuel chambers. I'm gonna take this out here before I design it so I can properly orient it. So I'll show you what I'm thinking. So what we can do is we can have the fuel chambers oriented like this. Will it fit? Yeah, okay. So it doesn't exceed the boundaries of the ship. And so we'll have it right there. So like you can come out. So if you need to maintain it, if you need to switch fuel rods, all you have to do is come down here and then pull it out. But will it actually bolt? I don't think it's going to bolt because it's in a wonky spot. Yeah. So I think it would only bolt down there. And what we need is we need a full like surface open so that it can connect. I think I may just have to bolt this in a really janky way. Alright, hey, welcome back. So I'm thinking of, right now what I'm working on is figuring out a way to put a generator back here. And interesting indeed. So really I have just been doing a couple of the, fixing up the bracing up here and bolting everything in. Let's see. I fixed this generator because it was being really janky. And then right now I'm just, you know, trying to figure out what kind of generator I'd want to put back here and how I would fit it. Now, ooh, this might be a little bit risky, but what I could do is I could have a generator on either side. So what I could do is I could just have it potentially right here in between each fuel tank, which is, I don't know if I want to have it there, but have like a small generator in between each fuel tank on either side, like right there and right there. I'm just looking for a good spot to put this because there isn't really a good spot. Because I need it to be in an area where I can easily, or a crew member can easily replace the fuel rod. I could put it up here. Let's see what happens with this. So if I take power and we go, where is it? Fuel chamber. Take it out here. So if I want, nope, not like that. If I want the slot facing downwards and then the feet facing inwards, can I? Okay, I can put it right here. And then what I can do is I can just move it up. Yeah, so it fits right there. I think that would be a good spot. So you can come in, you can just take your, we'll say this is a bolt tool, and bolt in 4 spots, just right there. Be super handy. And if I auto bolt it, will auto bolt be okay with that? Yeah, it would be, the wonkiness is supreme. Yeah, so that's gonna need more bolts, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them here. Did it not actually go directly onto the surface? It didn't. Okay, so that would explain it. Okay, there we go. This should work better. I hope it does at least. Alright. Okay, cool, that works. So then what we'll do is we'll just have one right there, and then we'll copy and paste. So we'll do kind of the same thing on the other side. I think each one of these will be a separate, like a separate engine, a separate generator. Because that way, you know, if one gets shot, then it's much easier to fix. But what we can do... Oh man, I keep forgetting nothing is in devices. So we want a generator unit for it. This is going to be interesting to do. So, alright, what do you guys think? I could put like the internals of these generators like in here, have it kind of like that, or I can have them on the outside. I think I kind of want to have them on the outside, but it's going to be a little, when I say a little bit wonky, it's going to be real wonky to how they connect. Like, oh, it already, oh, I need to turn it like this way. Man, these have really small connection points for vertex snapping. And it won't go there because I think the top is intersecting with something. In that case, the only way may be actually to... Yeah. It's looking like the only way to have these engine bits is actually on the inside like this. And... because for some reason it won't snap over here. Like, will it snap over here? So it's okay on this side, but if I take it over here, it starts freaking out and it won't connect. Yeah, only if it works. Could it be that that slight misalignment, is that over here? Yeah, that's over here. That's interesting. I'm not sure. Let's see if can this move right there? And then we'll move this back as a result as well. Okay. So I think that's what we'll have to do. So that'll be moved back and that'll be a bit forward. And then, okay, that snaps now. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have the generators right there. So fuel rod, and then, you know, we'll have our emergency, where is it? Generator cooling rack, yeah. So, yes, since I plan on using radiators, I don't need a cooling rack, but I view it as necessary just in case of emergency. You know, if your radiators get shot off, you want to be able to have power. So I view it as a necessary. So there's that. What else do we need? So we're going to need a power plug and, sorry, the socket board and the pipe socket board. So what we'll do is we're going to put enhancers on this as well, because enhancers are very nice and will help us not waste a lot. So we'll stick a level 2 module on either side, which goes, so level 2 will go through 2 modules instead of 1. to give its benefits, so we'll just do that. I think radiators do overheat, but that's only if you mistreat them. So like on the Bastet, like those radiators don't overheat because, you know, the coolant needs are actually pretty low for that. I think that's what you're asking. Like if they're like on the Bastet, it doesn't lose any radiator coolant, I think. Yeah, it's called radiator coolant. Um, it doesn't lose any because it doesn't go over the radiation limit, right? Okay, so yeah, I suspected that would have an issue. We're gonna go back in with a bolt tool over here. Hey, Lumex. How's it going? And I'm gonna fix this. Alright, cool. That's fixed. That's good. Yeah. I don't know really anything else to say. Just, yeah, if you don't push them too far, they can last forever. At least that's what I've observed, because I've looked at the radiator coolant in the Bastet, and it has not gone down at all. So I'm gonna go with that. They can last forever. I, you know, I can, I'll talk to some other Starbase people. I'll see if they have had any experiences with that, but to my knowledge, they're pretty good. But so, all right, yeah, we need to put on the socket boards. Does a coolant recharge? I've never actually used the coolant rechargers. Do those work off of like, do they use radiators to cool, like, to recharge the coolant? Or do they kind of just work? Propellant. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. I could put, you know, I'll just have one of those in the engineering section just in case we do need to have this run on coolant cells. I can check that out. That'll be a Starbase research project. That's true. You know, I've seen one on. I think it was Senki's ship had one, but so it looks like it can fit two. Yeah, that would be nice. Just put a couple on there just for kicks. That didn't connect properly. Okay. Also, so I asked this like at the beginning of the video for the YouTube people, but um, so would like if you didn't see the entire stream, would you guys be like interested if I had like short videos, like probably less than 10 minutes, that went over everything I did in between streams and then what I accomplished during the stream? Like kind of just like a 10-minute overview, see what happened and all that. Lock on, you know, I'd say that's possible. Yeah, like because what you can do is you can use 4 rangefinders and you can kind of say, hey, if one of you loses, like if one of you has like a really odd distance from the other, like if it has a distance of 100 instead of like 30, then it would just say, okay, move the turret in that direction. But then again, that would only work with if they're super close because usually you have to lead a target in Starbase. And yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just gathering people's reactions on that because I think that would be an interesting thing to do. And because I know some people don't really like watching streams, but so yeah. All right. So those generators would work. Ah, that reminds me. I'm gonna wire and pipe these up, but I'm not gonna use them for now. Uh, just for kicks. Can this bridge the gap? It cannot. Oh, wait. It can. Haha. Alright, cool. Yeah, I like those too. That's why I kind of chill in a voice chat while I'm streaming, just in case anybody wants to pop by. But yeah, videos, those are like, you want to have those shorter in general, just because that's kind of the principle of them. Like, you're not usually going to be watching a video for a long time because it can get kind of boring when you can't interact. So what we'll, nope, I did not want to grab it from that angle. We'll go here, and then where is the nearest power? Okay, it is like down here. Okay, so see, in that case, part of me is just like, why don't I use radiators all around? But like, I could have a the secret radiator, um, like for recharging those, just in case everything else gets shot off or something. Alright, so we'll move this. How did I do it over here? Okay, I just put it right there. Yeah, I can have them with the rest, but like, see, anyways, I'm not even going to be using the coolant. Like, um, those coolant cells, like, I just connect my generators up to the pipe network. Oh yeah, no, I'm debating not even putting that first-person shooter video up because that was just like, even for me, that was so terribly boring. Like, I was there for what, like an hour and a half, and out of that there were about 2 minutes of combat, and the rest was just like flying around, and yeah, it was rough for me at least. I don't know about you, but it was bad. But so these generators should, in theory, work fine now. So we won't put anything in them, but that'll work for now. What I kind of want to do is I want to, do we want to do a little bit of bridge stuff today? We could kind of just theorize about and put some stuff down. Oh yes, when we assembled. Oh boy. It takes so long to get organized in something that big. Oh yeah. It oh, it got real bad. I'm gonna take out these cables. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a cable there. And then there we go. See, and that's why you don't need the socket tool. But really, it didn't lag for you. I was getting like 30 frames, like right now, and usually in the universe I get 60 frames super easy. But while I was playing in that event, it was pretty rough. So the downside to using those 192 centimeter plates is nothing else is 192 centimeters. So that's delightful. Oh, that's not bad, yeah. What if I do something like this? So I'm definitely, okay, yeah, for sure. I'm going to be adding in more, I'm definitely going to do that off screen though. I'm going to be adding in, uh, what's it called? Some more beams so that I can support all these plates because some of them will not be bolted in. And like I know Senki uses them on one of his mining ships, but I didn't know like to what end, how effective they are. Because like, why not just, you know, hook up your generators directly to radiators is my like kind of thing. Okay, so of course that is 12 centimeters off, as everything is. That's delightful. We'll just use the 96 by 240s. And so what I'm thinking for the bridge, so I kind of want to have, oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I was more speaking on why I wouldn't really need them on like one of my ships, because I don't really use them. But I can see what you're saying, so I may actually do that in the future. If I build another, you know, this can be the rescue bastion. So, and so what I'm thinking for the bridge is, so we have the helm control, which is actually going to be further out. It's going to be like somewhere around here, so that, because this part is going to be like all glass so that you can see out it. Oh yeah, I'm going to have a navigation room. So then back here, so this will be the hangar, so that'll be taken up, and then this will just be a hallway, but I'm going to have other consoles along the side, and I'm going to have like generator control and all that. I think what I could just do is this deck right here. I'll just have this deck as engineering, because I was planning on putting a bunch of Yolol chips in here and having the navigation center in here, so I could just put like generator control and all that in here as well, and then this can be engineering and astrometrics. So that would be a handy room, and then I can have like smaller terminals up here that can kind of just monitor, so that you can keep in contact with like the engineering crew. So let's see. Let's get a plate in here. Oh yeah, 100% there's going to be GPS in this. Yeah, there has to be GPS in this ship just because A, it's insanely massive, so if we do not want to get lost, and then second, you know, it's also handy. So we'll just take this. Something tells me this plate is offset because I am not thinking that the 12 rail cannons are going to go on this one. Yeah, okay, so this is one off actually. Okay, but like, but rail cannons aren't even that great. Like, they take forever to recharge. Beam lasers would be awesome. Okay. And you see, like rail cannons could be nice, but also like on a ship of this size, you're not going to be wanting slow firing weapons on the turrets. Like, yes, it will have rail cannons. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So once torpedoes get in, this is definitely getting armed with those. Same with rockets, having a rocket turret. Um, and then either lasers or autocannons for the rest of the complement of weapons. But um, yeah, for me, it just seems like the rail cannons would not be effective. I feel that rail cannons are, they're best suited for something like uh, a fighter, like going around and attacking other ships. Plasma, hmm. Yeah, I could side with plasma. I haven't seen their damage in game. I've messed around with them, but I've never really seen it. So, and they're actually like, so when you think plasma thrower, you kind of think it moves slow, but in reality, it moves really quick. So, I'm not. Hmm. Okay, plasma. Okay, so they fracture armor like a pick. Yeah, I could. Okay, I could see how those would be helpful. Yeah. What I think I'm gonna do soon is, uh, like take kind of technical drawing or something of this ship, and then I am going to say like this is where the turrets will go, and then we can decide. I can put up maybe like a poll or something, and we can decide on what weapons should go where for maximum effectiveness, because there are going to be several mounts for weapons. Like I'm thinking there's going to be a mount on both sides of the front bow, then on each side of the kind of triangle back here, then maybe on the underside as well. There's going to be at least 5 turrets on this. Uh, Maybe. I'm not sure how I feel about the broadside cannons, because if this were to, I mean, okay, what I could do is I could put that in like the attack class of this ship, because this interior space here, I'd like to leave it as open as possible so that it can be changed out for different missions, or I can just have different variants of this ship, like for the different missions. But okay, so down here, what I'm thinking is like, here, we'll go in on foot. So we will have navigation, like the helm up here, and they'll be, flying. Then we'll have the captain's chair back here, which probably won't have this in front of them. And then on the sides back here, so I'm thinking this panel right here and on the other side will be glass as well as the front area. But then back here, so these two, like we could fit in some other seats here. These could be different stations. So like we got navigation, we have monitoring engineering. We can have something monitoring the weapons. And then so that brings me to another YOLOL thing. Oh yeah, we could have a ramming version. That would be interesting. But so one thing I was kind of thinking is on this ship, I can actually have a damage identification system. So in YOLOL, like what I can do is I can set up a chip. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure this would fare well in ramming, but we can see. I hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure how this would do, just because it's got such a weird shape. The hammerhead is like specifically designed for it, but the Nebulon B was definitely not. But so one thing I was thinking is we can write a YOLOL script that will identify damage on the ships. So like we can have a weapons officer stations, and so what I can do is on each turret I can have like a memory chip or a YOLOL chip on there, and what the like damage checker would do is it would change the value of that memory chip like every second or something, and then if and then it'll read it out, and if the memory chip matches what it was last changed to, then it's considered okay. But if it's not, then it would classify it as like damaged or missing. Yeah, that I'm not quite sure how I would write that. Um, I've got to work that out, but that's definitely doable. And we could definitely section off like parts of the hull, like if something gets disconnected. Like what I was thinking is we can use wires and kind of have a wire test. Like if it can't send the signal along that wire, then something is broken. But I'm not sure how accurate that would be, because that would involve putting some more sensors along the hull. But at least the weapons. So seeing if those are disabled. Yeah, that's a good idea as well. So having one down here, uh, we could have one in the hangar bay, uh, and then like a couple different ones back here. Yeah, stuff like that. So I think that would really serve our purposes well, because um, being able to know what's happening, especially if you're running on lower crew, would be extremely helpful. Like, oh, we lost this turret, oh, we lost that. And just knowing automatically instead of having to have a crew member tell you, because a lot of times crew members won't be on voice calls with you, or if they are, they might not have mics. So being able to know immediately that something gets disconnected or disabled is really helpful. So we can do that in engineering. What we can do is we can take this floor here and copy and paste it down to engineering. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And then like it have a memory chip like stating the what's it called? The status. Hold on. Let me think through what I'm saying real quick. So, um the memory chip, so there'd be one in engineering and one on the actual thing. Whatever we're making sure that it's still there. And in engineering, the chip would have a value like active or disabled, and then if the memory chip in if the memory chip on the actual object has broken and doesn't update anymore, then it can change the memory chip in engineering to be from active to inactive or disabled. I think that's kind of what. So there would have to be like two values on the ship. I think that's what I'm kind of going for. And yeah, this should have a very large crew. I would say the crew at minimum should be like five. Oh, because you want to have, so you're gonna have the helmsman. You want to have your captain that kind of runs around and does everything. Then you want to have so at least two people on weapons and making sure that making a lookout, so that we know that there's nothing in the area, and then another person like running the generators. So let's see. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of do the floor in engineering now. just so that we can kind of get stuff down. And then I'm gonna fix this area up because it's ramshackled. So yeah, basically something like that. And if it doesn't update, then it says, oh, it's damaged. Okay, so I don't know why it's not snapping. That really annoys me. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of vertex snap it and then slide it into place. This is gonna be an interesting. So what I think we'll do is we'll take a plate of 48 centimeters and put it there. And then we'll select this and we'll just move it in accordance. Ah, geez, Windows Update. I don't know why this won't move over at all. Like, I know it's up against the wall there, but... So if it can't be seen on the network, I think what it could say is like active, inactive. So like, is that what you're kind of saying there, Perry? Okay, yeah. We can just use true false because that would, you know, it works. I really dislike how this won't snap properly. It makes me kind of annoyed. So I'm gonna pull this back though to there. That'll work. Okay, so value state equals 0. Oh, that's a good point. I am not actually sure about that. What we can do is we can kind of test that in the next session. We can get like our engineering up and running right now, and then like work that. Oh yeah, that would be true. Well, the rangefinders, yeah. I see. The only thing with that though is I'm not sure like. So if it hits an asteroid, you might get a like a false positive, and well, yeah, the asteroid. But also there was something else that just slipped my mind. Um, it's only really on a 2D plane as well. So like, I guess it's kind of hard to say what I'm saying, but like since space is, you know, 3D, what happens if it's not on the same like 2D plane as the radar? Alright, so now our floor and engineering is in. Oh yeah, could make essentially a crude LiDAR sensor. I think I'd have to pull in some extra talent for that though, because I I am not as familiar with that as a good number of people. So we have these 48 by 96s. So we'll take longer 48, so like 144s, and we'll move it backwards and forwards. So right at the corner there. So like, yeah, right there. So the active YOLO chips. Um, so, okay. Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. Yeah, that would be an interesting way of doing it. I think that would work best for what we're doing. And then, well, so the radar, uh, what we're saying here is, so radar in this, we don't really have radar, we have beams. So like it's a single beam. Here, let me uh, get it. I have no clue where it is anymore. Let me find this real quick. I wish they would make this easier. Rangefinder, here we go. So we'll take a hard point. Yeah, we're basically dealing with laser pointers. We're not... Let's put this like right here. So just to demonstrate, then we'll wire this up. So when he says like making a radar out of rangefinders, it's using these things. So it's just a beam. So it's not like a field or anything, like it's just this. And so like because the turntables aren't that fast and all that, like you can't truly make a good LiDAR sensor, but yeah, I mean it would work. And these can go out to 1 kilometer as well. Yeah, so these go out to 1 kilometer, which I think this is in meters, so 1 kilometer right there. And then it will tell you, so if I get in the way, it tells you the range that I'm at. And I think the only things that are conic right now are the receivers from whatchamacallit. Yeah, just the receivers. And yeah, I agree with you. It is a cool idea. If we get some sort of sensor that would allow us to have more of a radar thing, I would totally do it. Oh, what are you? There we go. Okay. So we have this janky bit of plating. So what I think we'll do is we'll just extend it further back as well. And I'm going to be putting in a lot of support plating as well. But sorry, not support plating, support beams, because this is not very... A lot of pieces aren't actually connected right now. So something to fix. And we'll just put that right there, and we'll just have one on the other side. I like having a landing at our elevator shaft, so that'll be handy. I could see how we could definitely work those in to like a design, but for now, yeah, it is a light show, because yay, we don't have like any sensors, so things are difficult. Oh, and it put me in here. But so there we go. Now we have a landing at this one elevator. Gonna do elevator design later once we actually have all the decks. Ah, come on. There we go. An elevator with rail. I don't actually know. You know, that could be something that's really helpful, like an elevator with that. Um, Granted, this is not much space, but I think we could do that. And hey man, how's it going? And yeah, we could have censorships. Not censorships, but you know, censorships. You all know what I'm saying. You know it in context. I fear the people watching on YouTube may not have any clue. So if you're on YouTube, read the chat. Yeah, what we could do is we could just have um, here, let's find out. So rails, let's go with like 392s. Yeah, they can. I'm just if they're not reading it, so I hope they see that. But so right now I am building a Nebulon B frigate from Star Wars, or it's not really a Corvette, it's more of a frigate, I think. So right now I'm kind of just doing a little bit like fleshing out the decks. So if we put this here, like this will be a wonky elevator thing. Yeah, trying. So I'm not actually sure how this bolt, like, I'm not actually sure how this bolts. Like, yeah, of course I know who you are. I mean, granted, it's difficult because you changed your name a while back, but it's okay because you're a Kula now. And, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that would damage anything. But okay, so what we'll do, is this what we want? I think this is what we want. I've never used rails before. So is the rail socket what we use to get, wait, the socket groove? Is this what we use to get power to it, basically? Okay, so we'll just bolt that on. I mean, yeah, on this ship it may be a bit too big, if I'm being real. I'm just gonna connect this up to a battery over here, if I can. I am gonna have a difficult time with that, so we're gonna do that. And You know, smaller ships, definitely not bad. Like, building ships in general, it can be kind of challenging if you're not, um, like, very familiar with it. But once you get into the groove, it's not difficult, and it doesn't take long to get into the groove. I think. Oh, the crown means you have Twitch Prime. So what we'll do is we'll just bring in a battery. No, it's in machinery now. I keep forgetting that everything got moved around. Come on, bolt, bolt. There we go. So we're just gonna set this here for testing. I'm just gonna, this is horrendous. I'm gonna clean this up later. Just avert your eyes and everything will be okay. Oh, and my mag boots aren't able. Okay. So, I don't care about rotation right now. Okay, rail sensors. Oh, building a ship is not laggy at all. This is one of the times when I am running the best in the game. Like, it's laggy when you enable stuff, but... Okay, so speed device field. Alright. So, you said rail triggers? Rail sensors. Is that... I'm assuming that's a rail trigger. So I'm just gonna stick one on and we'll see. Does it just work? Okay, so yeah, it eats itself off there. I don't know, why can't I bolt this on at all? Oh, okay, that works. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna definitely have to figure this out, but yeah, most of the lag just comes from like other clients and stuff, so bye-bye. Okay, so it has its own device fields, so yeah, so what I want to get this to do, so yeah, he got yeeted. So do I want to do that? That actually work. Rail trigger output to speed. Okay, so that'll just, so that's the value that it sets. All right. And then do I want to change rail trigger read mover to 1? Or is it actually, okay, well, I'll change that back once I fix it. Okay, I think what it did is it set it to, that set it to 1, and then, oh, there's gonna be ship repair finally? Oh, that's great. Wait, did they post something in alpha announcements? I can't wait for that. That's gonna be so nice. Because there are some ships that like I messed up one thing on, and I just want to be able to take it into the metaphorical shop. Oh, okay. Okay, so that works. Yeah, I can't wait for the lag to be fixed too. That'll be nice. Yeah, what we can do here, so I'm not like I think just jetpack elevators may be the best for now, but I may actually invest some time off camera into that to check that out because that seems like it would be very promising. Um, but glitchiness is a big issue right now, so and economy similar, yeah, that's true. An economy similar to Eve. I think in like behind the scenes function, it will be similar to Eve, but on the surface, it will be nothing like it. Like, do you kind of get what I'm saying? Like, oh, and it kind of just ends there. We'll put in a 192. A 192 will be the perfect length. Yeah, because it's going to be a complex economy, but very easy to simplify. Unlike Eve, though, is one thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up to here. And then delete that, and we'll stick a chair on it and have some fun. I believe it's in controls, yeah, passenger chair, and we want a passenger chair stand, and then the passenger chair itself. Actually, I don't know if that bolts all the way through. Yeah, it did bolt all the way through. Here, I have an idea. We'll just, ooh, now that'll be nice. Yeah, I should, I don't know if I have to invite you and Hydro to my lot, but I should invite you guys there, because I actually have a lot that I have purchased, and I have a design already built up, so yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was gonna just bolt from behind. That should all be connected. Ish. Okay. So then... Ah. I'm just playing. See, this is what I mean by lagginess. Like, having an elevator like this would be really rough, because if we crank up the speed, if we make it to like -1, see, like if you're not sitting in it, it's really janky. So that's my concern. But you could definitely do like a one-seated elevator like that. And then we could have controls like right in front of it, like what floor you want to go to. And I mean, hey, I've seen a lot of low optimized computers running it really well, if we're being real, because yeah, this is much slower than just flying up. Unless we can set it to, I think max velocity is like 3 meters a second. Oh, well, still, this is much slower than flying. while it would be fun, it's also much less exact. Well, actually, sorry, no. It's more exact and would be kind of fun. I think we may go with just jetpack elevators for now. Like, kind of how I did on the Bastet. One up, one down kind of areas. So we could have... It is a fun concept, yeah. I'm gonna leave that there because I could do that in the future. Um, I'm not sure how I would have it come out in here. Like I might just cover this area as well. Oh yeah, we can magnet boot to the sides. If this is actually wide enough. Oh, it is, okay. Yeah, so then you could just pop out. Shh. What emote? I don't know what you're talking about. The other day I tried to add it in and I took the SOS emote and I plugged it in and it was like it has to be the specific size and I was like I don't want to make it that specific size, so I kind of gave up. Because I don't want to have to go into a photo editor and change the size to actually like I don't remember what it is because it's so tiny, but it was like 16 pixels or something, 16 by 16. I'll do it later. I don't it makes me unhappy. Ah! Oh yeah, that's true. For moving around, that would be nice. Let's stick like a button in it, and we'll see. Actually, I don't know about doing that right now. I feel like we could work on engineering right now. Oh yeah, kind of. See, what I have going through my head right now is Wall-E, like the people moving around on the light bridges things. And Twitch Prime is free if you have Amazon Prime, I think, as well as other stuff. I'm not actually sure about everything else, so let's see. So that chair idea would actually be solid. Like what we could do is, so say this is engineering. Oh, really? They're the same thing? Huh. I never realized they were owned by the same company or something. But um, so what I was thinking is, so say this is what do we want to call this deck? We could call it like, I don't want to say it's we could call this like navigation, then below it engineering. Yeah, I'm not sure how I want to call it yet, but so at each floor we would have, I think, 4 buttons. Yeah, so you'd have the call button, and then you have your basically engineering, navigation, bridge, and then observation or mission capable. I think that would be a handy thing to have. Yeah, this would be pretty nice. That's another decision I have to make. I have like a whole list of decisions I have to make for this because it's going to be whack. I think what we want to do now, though, can I not? Oh, okay, so I'm going to have to restart my game. That's delightful. I didn't realize I soft crashed and can't select anything else. Yikes. So I'm gonna save it and then I'm gonna quit and restart my game real quick. And we can look at it this way. So we can listen to some bomb menu music for a bit. So we're gonna do that. See, when you say that, I'm thinking like Star Trek Voyager and stuff. And with Twitch Prime, I think so you can subscribe to people and you can also, I think you get like the ability to add like use emotes everywhere you want. I think it's kind of like Discord. So, but I don't have it myself, so. I almost want to make a ship that's big to have just like chair lifts that go all through it so you can get to places. Yeah, so you can use that however you want, and then I'm not sure all of the other bonuses that you get. Yeah, oh, geez, okay. Well, thank you for that. um, but the Bolt emote, is Senki an artist? I've talked with him a couple of times, but I appreciate it. I really do. That's actually really nice. Thank you. I'm on my way to. I do. Yeah. So, it helps me a little bit. Because otherwise I'm doing this completely for free. um, but yeah, I don't know if Senki's an artist or anything, but hey, it's pretty nice. You could make a scheme out of this. So, let's see. I appreciate that. That's really kind. But I don't know. What do we want to do now? Do we want I think we have room in the stream for one more thing today, and um, oh, that is sad. Huh. That Stroop Stroopwafel is amazing. But so for today, I think. All right, see ya, man. Don't worry, I will. This will be a lot of fun. Not really. I'm not quite sure where to go now, but so I was thinking we could do two things. We could do a little bit of work on the hangar bay, check that out, or we could do a little bit of work on the like engineering and navigation deck, like getting in some YOLOL chips, just kind of seeing what we can do there, or we can kind of just plate and add beams and stuff to everything. That is also what we can do. I think I may start adding beams, but if we had rivets in this game, which we have bolts, which are basically the same. They're not the same thing, but they're basically the same thing. I could say like, you know, a horrid pun, like riveting gameplay, something like that. You know, just make everybody cringe simultaneously. Um, hmm. I think I'll just put in like back here the space for the hangar bay just to see how big it'll be. So we're gonna go, I think it's either in devices or machinery. Cargo. Yeah, it's in cargo. All right. So we are going to be making an entire cargo lock frame thing out of 4 parts. One of them we will only use once. So there's this. This is all you have to build a cargo lock frame, and it makes me very unhappy when I have to build one because it's so restricted. Um, but we're gonna build this. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna bring it like back in here, like this, and then we'll kind of just see how it shakes out because I want to have as much space as possible in this because that way, you know, we can maybe put an actual fighter in it, which would be pretty helpful. And there's that part. So we're going to experiment a little bit with this because I want to see what we're going to do. Alright, so we're going to stick that on, and then we'll start copy and pasting things. So I'm going to rotate that around and pop in. I've been strongly considering Railgun Visama, like, this entire time, because it's Railgun Visama. Like, who could deny that? I kind of want to try it just to see if it's, like, I know it's feasible, but to, oh, what's it called? Oh, did I not put that in the right spot? I did not. Like, I know it's feasible, but, oh god. To actually have it balanced, because the Visama is, yeah, unbalanced. I mean, okay. Hot take. Quadruple Railgun Visama. Oh boy. So, actually gonna pop that in, but I'm not sure we'll be able to fit another here, we'll pull this out, we'll stick it right there. We'll put in another one of these 48 centimeter long portions, and we'll see if this can still fit. Okay, so it can. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we are going to do that. We are going to vertex snap. Okay, so we'll see how it works with those wires, because if those wires get in the way, then that's going to be an issue. But if they don't, we'll be fine. Yeah, the Visama has to be cheap, expendable, you know. Horrific. All of the characteristics of a Visama. So we're gonna copy and paste this in, and it doesn't fit. So we may have to lengthen it a bit. We're gonna lengthen it a bit because that's a travesty. Oh yeah, it could go diagonal, but that's jank. And like half of me thinks that I could make a like shorter Visama. Like if I make it like you can have these pieces wider, and we can just make it wider instead of longer, and then it would probably fit perfectly in that. Here, we're gonna see the first ship I ever made. We're gonna see if it fits. It definitely will not fit. So if we do this, yeah, it still won't fit. That was the first ship I had ever built, actually. So it was partially a proof of concept, but also my mining ship for a while. So we'll bring it back out. But this was my trusty little mining ship. Um, it's so the base mining ship that you usually get is horrendous, and so I decided to design this. And because I didn't want to have to recharge the batteries all the time, so I put its own generator on, and it's perfectly balanced and everything. And yeah, so it was rough, but it worked, and it will probably never be seen again. Yeah, I've gotten slightly better at building, nothing to flex about, but so what I'm thinking here though is I will move this around a bit. How do I want to do this? I'm gonna figure out how to widen this later, but a ship could, if we could just specifically design a ship for this, it could fit. And a mover and a... Oh, that would be interesting. I have not heard of a use like that, so that would be... Okay, fine. You get to say it. I've got no comment. Actually, that was my comment, but we're just gonna ignore that I said that. We're just gonna use these short ones, like I think that actually makes up the same length as one of these. So actually, right, well, the cargo beam stuff is gonna have to be something for the future, because cargo beams are glitched right now. But yeah, that would be something that we could try. And we will move this up a bit more. This one. So we're gonna a cargo beam cannot freeze players. So that's kind of unfortunate. Yep, neither can do it. Now, question of the day, will it fit? It will not. So we're gonna go down one. And yeah, you can envelop like an entire ship and disable it. And cargo lock fields are... Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, I haven't had the greatest experience with them. And oh man, come on. They are really janky. And the furnace ships, those are gonna be fun times. I'm betting it's just gonna be like a massive... For the beginning, it's gonna be a cube with just a ton of generators and everything. We are going to use the handy dandy vertex snapping on this one. Okay, so that's kind of the size of our hangar, and we can move this beam. I just kind of have it there as a guide, but that would work. Yeah, you could totally just mod ships. And live endos? No clue. Dead ones? Yes. Like, just imagine you're mining in the belt and like you're having a chill time, and then like there's a shadow that just casts above you and you're like, what? And you turn around and then there's just a massive ship about to envelop you, and you're like, ah, well, so that's how it ends. But so, okay, this would provide ample space for a craft. We're gonna... So the Vasama, it would not fit. We'd have to take... Hey, look, the Vasama fits! Haha! I'm just kidding, it's actually sticking out just enough so that the field would be unhappy with it. What we can do... We'll try Combustibles Fighter. This will not fit. No, it definitely will not. I could have it go down further, yeah. Like, I could just extend this more downwards, but, and extend these out. See, what I was thinking is, well, actually, no, that wouldn't work anymore. I'm trying to use my thought process to go through this, but my thought process is not that good. So what I think we're going to do is we're just going to take this. They do inherit velocity. And they also may make up their own velocity as well. So you better watch out, because they will murderize you. I'm going to add a 36 centimeter beam extension. So 36 centimeters, I actually did pick this for a reason. So, oh yeah, it will totally tear apart the ship. I had an issue where cargo locks, man, it's horrendous. Cargo locks are not a fun time. But yeah, so we can make it deeper, and then we should be able to angle the Vasama like nose down or nose up, and that would theoretically work. So we're going to take this. We're just going to select the bottom, and we're going to take it out. And we're going to extend this down, and we'll see where we can go. So we're going to move that right there. And then if I were to take this, how far down would it go? Okay, so that's a bit too far. So what we could do is we could just take like 2 of these. Like that and that. And that should be like the perfect height. So we'll select that, bop, bop. And then we're actually just going to align it using vertex snap. Okay. So there we go, that's much deeper. I'll finish it off real quick, and then we will pull in the Vasama. Why did you just... Okay, for some reason that was misaligned. So I'll finish up these sides, then we'll pull the Vasama in, and we'll see how well it fits. And then we'll go from there, and we'll see like if we could fit a regular sized ship in. Obviously this would be a spot for a snub fighter if we have one, but we'll just see how it shakes out. So there is Vasama. Yeah, see, it pokes out just a little bit. If we do take this out though, and that bottom right there, then we can move it forward enough. Yeah, it's just barely too big. Unless this... Okay, so if we put it in like that, if we cut off the front and we put it in like that, it would fit. Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Not fun times. Not fun at all. But so if we clipped off the front and fit it in like this, it would work just fine. But what I think we're going to do is at the end of this Nebulon B series, we are going to make a ship that will fit within these dimensions. And I may actually expand it out this way off camera. We'll just see how much I can extend it out, because I want to keep this arch here as much as possible. So that would be really... But yeah, we can definitely design a ship that'll fit in this, and it might even be able to have like an FCU MFC on it, because we could still have it just be propelled by propellant, but just have it be small, and that would work fine. Alrighty, so I'm gonna delete these though, because I don't need them anymore. And I'm gonna save them. So fuel rods, if they are not in the chamber, they don't explode. But if they're in the chamber and active, they will explode. So I'm gonna check around up here. I kind of like just going into actual in-game mode, the test flight mode, to look around for stuff. It just feels more natural to me. So I think I may change this, or actually I might want to put a support beam in there. But the rest up here, and fix this up, though I'm not quite sure what I want to do with the elevators yet. Either this rail system or just regular gravity elevators, or jetpack elevators. But nothing's poking up in the floor here, which means we can make a really nice flat floor. I need to definitely reinforce it though, so that's something to work on. I think I'll be adding in a lot of beams in between episodes, so that'll be kind of one of my bigger tasks, because I severely underestimated the amount of beams I would need for each floor, so I'm gonna probably need to like double it at least. We'll see how that shakes out. But I think I'm gonna end the stream here, because I am getting pretty wiped and I have a headache, so. But this is a good spot to stop for today. We just finished up the initial hangar. So warp class right now is only 0.32 because I have some red bits that I haven't actually bolted yet. I think it's 1.7 when everything's right. But then the mass, I don't even know. Voxel volume, I don't think it has an actual mass. Somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, so I'll end today with this. So thank you all for watching, and if you're not, I'd ask that you follow me if you want to see more of this. I also post all of this onto my YouTube, so if you want to see more, like the first video or other stuff, it's all up there, and this will be going up there soon. And yeah, 12 viewers, of course, at the end of the stream. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day or night. So see y'all.